Right, so let's play this hand and see what happens. See who wins. Okay, so player two dealers right leads, and has a choice. So if they lead trumps, then that can only be beaten by a higher trump. So in some ways, it's a safe lead, and it would also draw out some trumps. If they lead king, there's a chance that that could be trumped by a king beater. Because remember, nobody has to follow suit at all in this game. So one can duck, one can trump, even when one has cards in the chosen suit, in the led suit. Okay, well let's stop faffing around and let's try something. So as I said earlier, this player has been signalled that his partner's got the king of flowers. So let's see if we can sneak the king of flowers out without it being trumped. So I'm gonna lead the 5, and normally what happens is the cards are played in front of the players, and kept there a bit like in bridge actually. Now, could this player, so at the moment that 5 of flowers is heading the trick. It will the trick will be won by the highest flower that is played to the trick, and the king is the highest flower ultimately, or the highest trump, which beats the trick. So this player here has a choice of trumping, or playing the oboe to just get slightly ahead, or and he definitely wouldn't throw away the king of bells on it. So he's thinking, maybe I'll risk that my partner's got some decent trumps, and this is a good opportunity to play my oboe. So the oboe of flowers is currently heading the trick. Well, there's only really one thing that's worth that this player would play at this point. Their king of flowers. The chances of it going around are pretty slim, because if I have a king beater, then I can trump this. And so I then look at this trick, and sure enough, I do have a king beater, and it's my only king beater. So this is perfect, given I know that my partner's got at least one top trump. So I'm using my trump really in its best possible way, really, to win a trick. Win the 3 tricks we need to win the game, and we'll take that trick. Thank you very much. So that's one trick to us. So, and the player who wins the trick leads to the next trick. So what do I think I should be leading? Well, I think my partner has quite a few trumps. I'm also thinking he's got the king of bells. Maybe I'll try and sneak that king of bells out rather than play a king straight away. So I'll play the 6 of bells. This leaves my right-hand opponent with some thinking to do. Do they just play the oboe of bells? Likelihood is that's going to be beaten by the king. He's got a 6. He's got the 6 of shields, which is a king beater. That's one of the top trumps. So he could play that, or he could play the banner of shields, which is that is an oboe beater. So that would beat an oboe, but the chances are that the king is going to go onto this trick, and so it would not beat the king. That's the interesting role that trumps play in this game. So that would beat an oboe, but it wouldn't beat a king. So does he waste or use his last one and only king beater to win this trick, or try and win this trick? He probably hasn't got much choice, because that's the only way he's going to be able to lead out his king of shields, probably, which is the only way that the only way that King of Shields is going to win is if he leads it, because the chances of his partner having the Ogre of Shields are very small, and that's the only other card in that very short two card suit, effectively. So he's having done all that thinking and bored his opponents rigid. He plays 6 of Shields. So we've got currently the 6 of Shields heading this trick. That is a king beater. Now, another one of the interesting things. So in most card games, me having led a 6 of bells, my partner would have to bung the king of bells. Remember, that one's not a bell, that's a trump. My partner would have to put the king of bells on it, and it's already been trumped. But actually, in this situation, I don't have to follow suit, so I can store that king of bells back, because you never know, it might work next time around. But what I can do is think about winning this trick with a king beater. So to win this trick, I need to beat the 6 of Shields. The 6 of Shields is actually above the 2 of Shields in the ranking of king beaters. So actually, if I really want to win this trick, I'm going to have to win it with this 10 of bells, the banner of bells rather. So that's the top trump. That cannot be beaten. So over here, there's no point playing anything other than a worthless card on this, because the trick is already lost, and there's no need to follow suit. But equally, I don't think the 5 of bells is going to be valuable. So play the 5 of bells on that trick, and that trick is ours. Won by the banner of bells, top trump. So we are 2 tricks up, and we think we might have a good chance of a 3rd trick. So we could actually think about bidding another Spiel dry at this point, if we were feeling so brave, and our opponents would quite possibly fold at that point. But let's not bother with that. Let's just assume that we can win this and bank 13 points and not get too greedy or too ahead of ourselves. So it's my partner's lead. Choice of playing a trump, leading a trump, or leading a bell. They're leading the king of bells and drawing out another king beater, which may raise that 2 of Shields to become possibly the highest king beater. Let's try that. So let's play the king of bells. Well, the under of Shields is a king beater, and a pretty high one at that. The 3rd highest trump. So it would probably be a little bit churlish not to try and trump that one, not least because we have to win all of the remaining. This partnership, our opponents have to win all of the remaining tricks to avoid defeat here. So we're going to have to go for that one. Can't rely upon his partner having a king beater as well. Well, I haven't got any trumps left, and so I can't do anything about that. So I just throw away my lowest acorn. And this trick has already been won, and there's nothing this player can do, because he's only got an overbeater. So again, he'd probably throw away his lowest card effectively, which is the Ogre of Bells. So this trick goes to the east-west effectively. They win that trick. So that's at least got them a trick, which was looking a bit dodgy at one point. So they've got one trick there, and now comes the difficult choice. What to play? Well, probably would have seen the signal of a king that I have the king of acorn, so actually leading the over of acorn would be a disastrous move, so almost certainly would lead the 4 of flowers. And I can't, there's no way I'm going to win this trick because I've got no trumps and I've got no flowers, so that's lost. That's not me, not mine. And so it passes over to right-hand opponent. So the only chance of actually getting into this trick and leading to the next trick here is by trumping this 4 of flowers and hoping that there are no higher trumps above him. So you would probably trump that. That's an overbeater. So it can't beat the king of flowers, but the king of flowers is gone. So overbeater, however, can be beaten by a king beater. And so my partner would over trump the overbeater with the king beater. And that is the end of the game. We've won, my partner and I have won 3 tricks. And that's the end. And so what would happen now is that we would score this up, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So my partner and I won. The game was worth 13 points. That's 4 for the basic game plus 3 points for this initial 3-point Kaiser, which is the kind of shepherd's crook affair. 3 points by the other Kaiser that was announced by our opponents, and another 3 points for the Spiel dry that my partner bid to raise the value of the game. That was the bet, and our opponents accepted that, so that extra 3 points went on. So that's 13 points. So what we do is we transfer that from the middle to our end of the scoreboard, and this is where interesting, I think it's called Bauernschrift or something like that. I think it's the kind of traditional farmer's way of writing script, a bit like tallying, I guess, in the UK. So ones above the line are worth 1 point. So we won 13 points, so that's 110. So any lines above the line, each of those is worth 10 points. And ones below the line here are worth 1 point. So that's 1, 1, 1, 1. So that's 13 points. And then we would play the deal would rotate and we play the next game. So let's assume that we've won another game for 14 points. We can actually calculate, put this onto the slate in a different way. We can put 9s as a backwards N above the line, and 5 as a V below the line. 9 plus 5, so that would be add 14 points. That's just a different way of it. We could equally put another 1 above the line here and another 4 below the line there, but turn this one into turn the ones into a kind of tally. But this is another way of doing it. And similarly, if our opponents had been winning scores, they would just invert them so their ends would be, directly facing our ends, etc. So obviously you don't actually need to score it like this if you don't want to. If you don't have a slate, you could use paper. If you don't want to use this Swiss script system, you can use tallies, you can use Roman, you can use Arabic numerals, whatever you like. But I personally feel that this just adds the kind of the fun and the mystique of the game, and I kind of quite like this. It makes it feel more kind of traditional.